Hey y'all, don't kill me. Please don't kill me, okay? I'm not even gonna make no excuses. I'm gonna just get straight right into it, okay? Greenleaf episode 3. I know I'm behind. I know, but I'm busting them out tonight. Don't worry about it. Greenleaf episode 3, episode 4, tomorrow's episode 5, and I'm putting out Love and Marriage Husband, okay? I'm coming with them, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, okay? First off, in episode 3, it starts off with Grace, chilling on the land or whatever, just relaxing herself. And Rick Fox decides to show up, and he sees her, and they talking and stuff like that. And he actually lets her know that he got fired from his job because he wanted to push the story about Bob Whitmore running for Senate, and his boss wasn't having it because I guess maybe he works for Bob Whitmore, and it was over. So he got fired, and he kissed Grace. I was like, now you was doing all of that talking about how it was hard to get over her and this and that and why she show up, and now look at you in love. Seriously. But then you go to the next scene where Jacob goes to Tasha Skank's house. Remember I was telling y'all I thought it was his uncle's house, but it's not. It's Tasha Skank's, and he goes over there, and she answered the door all, sexy like, and she got the black on and showing all the cleavage and all this other stuff. And Jacob like, that's what you put on? And she like, yeah, this the only thing I had, black, and I always felt like a widow, but now I actually am one, and all this other stuff. So boom. So they go actually to meet Tara, which is Basie's half-sister and Rochelle's sister. So I'm guessing her and Rochelle got the same mama and daddy, and then Basie and her just have the same daddy. Okay. So they go over there, and she making her comments about seeing a green leaf and all this other stuff. And honestly, I was getting a good vibe from her, but then I don't know. Some about it don't sit right, and I'm gonna get to that because before I get to that, something about Tasha isn't right. I don't know what it is, but like the way she just be looking, and even a comment she made when they went to go see Tara at Tara's like church or whatever. Tasha talked about, I told you he was a good one. Like, either you got something up your sleeve or you're just thirsty, Tasha. I mean, pick one, love. Either one. Like, girl, be over it. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you ain't even been a quote-unquote widow that long, and already you ready to hop on Jacob. Like, girl, bye. So, apparently, Sophia, because, okay, let me back up. Y'all know Nikki was staying in Zora's little hut house or whatever on the land. But she moved out and moved back with her ex-boyfriend, which was Sophia's boyfriend, but then all of that stuff happened, right? So Sophia's over at Zora's house, or a little cabin or whatever, and she's like, whose stuff is this? And Zora's like, oh, some of mine and some of Nikki's. So then Sophia just started throwing the girl's stuff everywhere. So then next thing you know, Nikki come through the door, and she like, why you throwing my stuff? And so they get the exchanging words or whatever. And then, first of all, let me tell you something. Nikki is nasty. Okay? Nikki is nasty. When she said, yeah, she said something and puffed in Sophia's face. And Sophia was like, nice breath. And she was like, yeah, I put some in it before. I came over here to let you know that you will never, ever get another taste. Like, first of all, that's disgusting, okay? Like, very disgusting. And girl, little do you know, Sophia had just lost her virginity to him. She wasn't all into that just yet, okay? Just you. Bomb down, okay? Bishop and Lady May are starting a new church or whatever. And they were talking about, asking, they had asked Charity to do assistant, pastor or preacher. But, she don't want to do it because she's stuck on, the old church or whatever, old Calvary. And then, but Karen, I think that's her name, Karen or Karen, whatever, the like, heavyset kind of girl who was Bishop's assistant, she offered, y'all. I didn't even know she could sing, okay? I really want to know her name. It's like Karen or something, but I didn't even know she could sing. But she offered, and boom, pop out. She's in there, okay? So they like, okay, cool, they get in the church or whatever. And then they fast forward back to the scene where Greenleaf, Tasha, and Tara were having a conversation, and they leave Tasha and Jacob, and Tara hops on the phone and says, you won't believe, I just got to talking to a Greenleaf, and you won't believe he was here and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, see, that's what I'm talking about. You own some foo-foo stuff, and I don't understand why. Like, everybody is breaking their back, and I'm gonna get to that in the next episodes, but everybody is breaking their back to come over here and, make things right, and y'all in cahoots. That's why I said, y'all, Basie is not dead. Basie ain't dead. And Rochelle, nobody ever said she was there, but she hiding somewhere, girl. You not slick. We see you. Okay, Rochelle, we see you, boo. Like, girl, whatever. And Tasha, you up to no good. I don't trust Tasha. I'm sorry. I know y'all probably like, oh, Tasha, but I don't trust him. So anyways, y'all, back at the church, Charity is dealing with the everyday struggles of working there. And, Judy is just helped me. I had already said I didn't like Judy, but I really don't like Judy. Like, she is doing everything she can to get under Charity's skin to make Charity quit. But Charity already let her know, look, I'm not going to quit. She even flashed her ring in front of Charity, talking about what you think about the ring. And Charity was like, I thought it was nice. And I love the fact that Charity clocks her ass. I love the fact that Charity clocks her every chance she get, because Judy is always trying to throw Phil up in somebody's face. And it's like, girl, Phil ain't even, first of all of that, number one. And number two, like Charity has already told you, he just with you because he wants to be a pastor, and this is what he has to do for Bob in order to become a pastor. Girl, he don't really like you and he don't really love you, but you just so hell-bent on showing your little ring that really don't mean nothing, girl. He was just with Charity 2 minutes ago. Girl, bye. AJ decides to call Sophia, and he tells her that he wants her to come talk to him in the hospital. So she does, and when she gets there, she bypasses Noah and her mom, Grace, because they're still waiting in line, because, they've been going to the hospital every day pretty much to see AJ and see if they can talk to him, and he don't want to talk to nobody. Sorry. So when he talks to Sophia, he basically, after they do all this run around and talking and stuff like that, he basically tells her that, he was taken advantage of in prison and was raped, and the guy who did it gave him an STD. And so, it was just, I wasn't expecting that, and I don't think Sophia was expecting that either, because the way she came out that room, y'all, she was like shooketh, okay? She was just like, Mom, AJ wants to talk to you, and that's it. Like, she looked really, really shook. After that, so once Tasha and Jacob leave from seeing Tara, they go back to Tasha's house, and Tasha's like, oh, you want to come in, Jacob, and all this other stuff. And he's like, no. And then out of nowhere, she asked him, did you ever really like me? And he like, I mean, yeah, I did like you, whatever. And, I just don't understand. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, with Tasha, I don't know if she really likes Jacob or if she's just trying to finesse him to work with Basie, because like I said, like, I really think her and Basie and Rochelle are in cahoots. I really, really do, because it's like, Tasha, you just came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you just still got the hots for Jacob. Like, get out of here. And then she tries to kiss him, y'all. She tried to kiss him. Jacob is not going for it, though. He was just like at first I thought he just curved her, but no, he was just like, I mean, he did curve her, but he was just like, no, like, I want to do things right, me and my wife are getting a divorce or whatever and stuff. And she just acted like she was shocked about a divorce. Yes, girl, a divorce. So be over it. But yeah, they get a divorce, and she just like, okay, we can do things right this time and all sorts of stuff. And she get out the car. Jacob gets done leaving Tasha Skanks, and he goes back home. He picks up Winky like Carissa asked him to, but when he puts Winky down, he turns to Carissa and was like, because, she was on the phone when he walked in talking about, he don't got no job, and he don't work, he don't do nothing, all this other stuff. And so he's like, is that the lawyer? And she's like, yeah, it is. And he was like, well, call her back and let her know that all the plans are off, and I want partial custody for Winky. And so Carissa jumps up talking about, and Bishop to go to jail. And then I'm so glad Jacob clocked her behind, because he straight up told her, look, either he belongs there or he doesn't, but I intend to find out. Like, I'm going to find out regardless. So whatever you think you holding over my head, you really not going to hold over my head no more, because I'm going to take the initiative to find out the answer, and I'm going to find out, and it is what it is, and you're not going to stop me from being a dad in my kid's life. And I'm glad he did that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't really like that he did it at the expense of Bishop. However, I could appreciate him fighting for Winky, because it really seemed like, he was just going to just let her take advantage and let her take Winky, and it just was what it was. And I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, like I told y'all, the top of the episode, when she asked Jacob to take Winky, she's over there talking about, he's like, he just asked her straight up the question I've been asking: why don't you just leave? And she talked about, I will, as soon as I know my children are taken care of. First of all, Zora is grown, okay? So I don't know what children you're talking about, but Zora is an adult. So therefore, even if you were to go to court, he's not going to have to financially take care of her because she's 18 or older. So this girl is like about to be college. I mean, unless their rules is different, okay? But last time I checked, 18 is the cutoff. So stop it, Carissa. So I'm glad he clocked in and let her know, I'm going to fight for partial custody, and there's nothing you can do about it. Even you trying to hold this little will against me, it ain't going to work. Thanks, Jacob. Jacob decides he wants to go see Bishop, and he basically asks Bishop right out, did you have something to do with Daryl James' death? Bishop says no. And he's like, are you sure? He's like, yes. So then he's like, did you know that the deed to this house, I'm sorry, y'all, that was my arm, it popped. He was like, did you know that the deed to this house was originally for, and the property was originally for Daryl James? And he was like, Bishop was like, no, it wasn't. It's for me and May. Like, I have the will right here. And Jacob was like, look, I already know about that will, Dad. It's not going to work, okay? I know about that will. It's not a good will. And the original will before the one you have says that it belonged to Daryl James. And then all of a sudden, Daryl James ends up dead. So did you have anything to do with it? Bishop's still denying it. He's like, no, 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 no. So then I'm like, okay, whatever. So as far as Jacob is concerned, his dad is clear, and it really doesn't matter. So fast forward, Lady Mae goes to see Charity in her room, and you know, Charity makes a little comments or whatever, but you know, I'm gonna give Charity a break, because you know, I've been on Charity's head a little bit, because you know, she been getting on my nerves, but I'm gonna give her a little break. So Lady Mae goes in there and just like, she has this Bible, I guess that, or no, hymnal book or something like that. And she gives it to Charity, and she tells Charity to open it. And inside, you know, it's Charity's little handwriting as a kid, and she was referring to herself as a pastor in the Bible, Pastor Charity in Greenleaf. And it was like a really nice moment, because, you know, Lady Mae has definitely been coming down on Charity. And, you know, I'm glad that she approached with a different approach this time, and, you know, decided to be nicer and calmer and things of that nature. So I was like, okay, amen for that. So then they're just having a conversation, and Charity says, what if you name the church Eternal Faith? And so then Lady Mae kind of looks at her like, like what? And then she's like, yeah, Eternal Faith Fellowship. And so, you know, that just lights up Lady Mae, I guess. And you know, honestly, I think she was exhausted, so we didn't get to see the full excitement, but I think it did make her excited, because in a way that, first of all, it came from Charity, number one, and then number two, there's a kind of way to like show appreciation to Faith, because Faith is not there, and then they also are having their faith tested. So I feel like that's a pretty good, you know, name or whatever. So, you know, Lady Mae's just like, you know, okay, thank you. And she was like, you know, I definitely want you to consider, you know, coming and teaching at our, preaching at our church, because, you know, the offer does still stand. And Charity says, you know, thank you, and I'll think about it. And it was really nice to see them in this setting, because, you know, they go back and forth. So it was really nice. And then the end of the episode, you guys, is so sad. The episode ends with Grace going in the hospital room to talk to AJ. And AJ tells her exactly what he told Sophia, and that he doesn't want to talk about it. And it's just really sad, because, you know, like, Grace, you can tell that she just really, really wants to be there for AJ, and that she's very remorseful for how she went about, you know, giving him away and stuff like that, and not being in his life. And so you can tell that she's just really trying her best to just basically, like, redeem herself, you know. And it was really sad, y'all. It really was. And I feel so bad for AJ. I really, really did, because, you know, I feel like he wants to belong, but at the same time, he doesn't feel like he deserves to belong. And I feel like he also kind of is upset with Grace, and like, but also beats himself up at the same time. And he just doesn't want to disappoint anybody, you know, because he probably is used to being a disappointment. But it was really good, y'all. But that concludes episode 3 of Greenleaf. I will be back with episode 4 coming right up after this. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back with the next one. Later.